I love that question. So the first thing is figure out what you want, because you don't want to overpay for stuff that you don't want.
Okay.
That's the biggest thing possible right there. So if it's a lot of stuff on a vehicle that you don't want, figure out what's the next option that you can still get what you want. And then you ain't overpaying for things that you ain't gonna never use in your car. How many people out there are driving cars, just regular old cars, that there are things in that car that you have never used? How much money did you overspend to get something that you're not even gonna use? A lot of people turn them off. No, a lot of people, let's just say lane departure warning, something simple like that. They don't like the fact that when I move over to the side and I maybe, I get the vibration in the steering wheel, or I get all these prompts and stuff popping up, and it's like, oh, I'm gonna turn that off.
True.
You know you
True.
paid for it, right?
That's a
Think about
good
that.
point.
You're not worrying about that, because before you leave the table, before you leave out that dealership, after your 36-month term, your 24-month term, you know how much that car is going to be.
But the thing that I've always heard that's been like a concern is that if I lease, can I drive it like I want to drive it, or am I limited to
Oh, I love that question.
how many miles I put on it, that kind of stuff?
I love that question. So, all right, most leases, the best lease you're going to get is at 10,000 miles. It's usually 3 years, so that's 30,000 miles in 3 years that you're going to put on that car. Industry average is way above that,
Okay.
right? So all you got to do is just find a car that leases very well, because all cars lease differently. It definitely depends on what car that you're buying, and you got to know which cars have the best lease specials based on you, your family, and your lifestyle's needs. Tax write-off. Any
Weight.
vehicle over a certain amount of weight,
Right.
you could write it off on your taxes.
Right. The 6,000 pound rule.
So when you do it that way, the car becomes a lot more affordable. People think you paying $280,000 for the vehicle, but you're not.
I was like 280, like
G-Wagon's all
ooh.
about status. You don't see nobody driving around here in the G-Wagon just because it was affordable. It ain't nowhere near affordable. But if you do it the right way, a G-Wagon gives you that status.
And you writing it off.
And you writing it off as well. So you saving money all the way around. But when you're leasing a vehicle, guess what you're staying in? You're staying in the manufacturer's warranty, period.